Okay everyone, thanks for stopping by. Look, today's video is going to be a reasonably short one, and I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been in Bunnings or Supercheap or somewhere like that, and you're looking around for one thing and then you spot something else and it's so cheap, even though you don't really need it, you grab one anyway? Cleve, I'm talking to you. I had one of those moments today. I was down at Bunnings and I've got an Ozito 18 volt, you know, the power exchange stapler that I need for a job that I've got coming up. I've got a pneumatic one, but I picked up the 18 volt one. Long story, and I'll get to a review and I'll tell you about that later on. But what I actually spotted while I was in there, I was looking for some additional staples today, this little Ozito pneumatic air chisel. Now what makes this amazing is it was 15 bucks. 15 bucks for the tool itself. 4 of these shanks. Now there were some shanks there at Bunnings. I think they were about 10 bucks a set for, you know, 4 or 5 in a set. Obviously it's got the connector for the end of the hose and then just the spring that goes on the front. When I was pulling this apart, one of the things that I noticed was this little air connector, which, you know, just connects into the standard affair on the end of your air hose. It's actually a reasonable quality. Now, often when you buy tools, plane going over. Now, often when you buy tools, you can tell the quality of the tool by the little extras that are thrown in. Now, again, not the best quality one I've ever seen, but it is better. Point and case. I went to Supercheap the other day to buy myself just a little, you know, air nozzle for the end of my hose for blowing things out so I can clean some stuff, because I dropped this one and the end broke off it. Now you can feel the end of this. This is a better quality one. You can feel the end of that. That's a metal connector. Similar quality to the one that we've got with a little air chisel. But this was, I think this cost me 9 bucks, 10 bucks basically. Now this is just plastic, and the connector that comes with this is basically like a plastic too. Like it's just a shit quality thing. So like this is a Black Ridge. That's a Supercheap brand, and you know that I don't have any issues with Supercheap. Look, and the thing works, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can sometimes tell by the connectors that they supply you with tools as to the actual quality of the tool. You know, if they're going to cheap out on this shit, then your hopes for this being a quality piece, pretty low. But that being said, they can sometimes skimp on these connectors and things that they throw in and spend extra dollars on giving you a better quality piece. Doesn't always work out that way, but yeah, just something I've noticed in the past. Let's just have a quick look at the tool. I did, whilst I was standing in a Bunnings, and I was looking at this for 15 bucks, and I'm thinking it can't be that cheap and it can't be good. So I jumped on a review, and I did see a review over in the States for one that looked, I would say, identical to this at Harbour Freight for $9.95 or 9 bucks or whatever it was in the US. So this, I think, is very, very similar to that one. Right, just wanted to give you a real quick look at this. Doing some work on the motorbike, the dirt bike that I got the other week, and the nut that is on the top of the shock absorber that holds the spring down, we needed to wind that back, and we were banging on this thing for hours with screwdrivers and all sorts of stuff. And we were really damaging that nut that's on top. I think they call it, like, it's not a castle nut, but crown nut. Anyway, the nut that holds the spring in place, and you can adjust to adjust the suspension, and that you can adjust to adjust the suspension on the bike. Now we couldn't get it to move. Now one of the blokes that was helping me out, Sean, said, "Oh, do you have like a?" He said, "Did you have like an impact drill or something along those lines?" I said, "Look, I don't." He knew I had the compressor in there, so he ducked home and he grabbed one of these. It was a little bit bigger than this, and no doubt it would be much better quality than this. As you can see, you really should see Sean's shed. I might actually do a walk around that later on. Anyway, point being, 15 bucks with the spring that goes on the front. Just screws on the front there like that. Basically a flat chisel. That's probably, I don't know, 25mm wide maybe. That does have a point on it. Now this steel doesn't feel particularly high quality. I reckon that edge would go pretty quick. We've got one of those, which I have no idea what that's used for. I think that would be handy for moving nuts and the like, which is exactly why I want this tool, just for loosening nuts and that sort of thing. Something looks like a bit like a punch. It's a flat tip. And another one of those. I've never had one of these before, so I'm going to be looking for excuses to use this in the near future. keep in mind, never had one of these. You'll see there is a bit of an edge on there. That drops in, spring goes over the top, and we screw that down. So obviously it's the spring that pulls that back. Screw that all the way down, so that's going to come out and hit that spring. It's not going to be able to go any further. There's a little cap in the bottom, it says remove it, so we've taken that out. Need to go and grab my oil. Just go get some of this 3-in-1 oil. I think it was about $5 for that. That's about, I don't know, about 90 mils, 100 mils, something there about. Just real handy. So for your air tools and stuff like this, you can use this. Throw in a few drops. Handy for clippers, scissors, you know, your pliers, all that sort of stuff. Padlocks. This stuff is absolutely bloody brilliant, and I actually stick it on, you know, when I'm working on something like on the car or on the bike or something. I'll actually throw a little bit of that on the bolt as well. Just stops it from seizing and just makes the job a little bit easier next time you've got to go and pull it out. Now keep in mind, other than watching one of these in action the other day, I've not used one of these before. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to use it for. Now it is speed variable. There is a little dial on the bottom of there, so you can speed it up and slow it down. I'm sure there'll be some specs on there. I'll let you know what they are. To give you an idea, that's on full. We dial that right back. Yeah, anyway, look, like I said, $15. To be honest, I really didn't understand how useful these could be until Sean bought his around the other week and used that to work on the bike. And I thought, yeah, I'll have to get one of those eventually. Probably going to be about $100 or something like that. When I spotted that for $15, you know, it seems solid. The trigger mechanism's, you know, okay. The little air piece, good. Needs to have some plumber's tape just put around it, stop the air leak. Look, overall the tool feels solid. Yeah, again, no experience in them, so I can't tell you whether this is a good one, bad one, or otherwise. I just wanted to highlight it to you. So if you've got an air compressor sitting in the shed and you need an air chisel, just something for, you know, moving bloody stuck nuts and all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to jump online and I'm going to Google all the other things that I can use this for and get stuck in. But as you see, it went through that brick pretty easy. That's an old brick though. I probably could have just whacked that with my hand and had it just break up, but yeah, anyway, $15. There's no reason not to have one sitting in your toolkit. So there you go, that's it guys. Thanks very much for stopping by. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. $15.